do black people always have to walk away for excitement?
Cause it's just like an awe, dude. Like you ever been to a basketball game and someone dunks? Like I just want to leave. Like you know what I mean? Like
it makes me think the Aziz Ansari joke when black people see a magic.
That's all I was, dude. That's all I was watching. Dude, that's all I was watching Eternals last night. Like the craziest shit happened, and I literally had to pause the movie. I'm like, and I was talking to my friend. I'm like, dude, that's the best thing about being at home watching the movie. I can pause the shit because the movie's so good. Like you know what I mean? Like
you just explained why movie theaters are going to be dinosaurs in the next 10 years.
Oh, 100%. No one.
I'm surprised there's still. I forget that they even exist now.
So we actually talked about that last time with Dwayne, because from our age group, we grew up going to the movies. It was an event.
My
it was
mom said she'd drop off if your mom will pick up.
Yeah. It was an event. And now it's not. Now I would rather sit in my recliner and watch a TV than go to the movies. First of all, I don't want to be around that many people anyway. So it's like, oh, the convenience of it.
Yeah, the shootings, I get it.
And those two. You always got one eye on the door and find the exit and all that. Yeah.
So all things aside, how
It's
was
just not even comfortable.
all shootings aside, how was the movie?
It's not even comfortable though. Like
I give that a two shot review or something, 2 shooting review.
They design stand-up comedy like comedy clubs like a movie theater though. They pack you in there. You all can feed off each other's energy, and you're all focused on one thing, like the vibe. And like you said, there's a connection. Because like some of my favorite memories of like I'll think about the funniest I've ever laughed in a movie theater. It was probably The Nutty Professor. First scene, Nutty
that
Professor.
popped up on my fucking.
Had me rolling over.
The Dave Chappelle part. When Dave Chappelle's on the concrete.
Man, it's been a while.
And gosh damn it, it was on Instagram the other day, but I was like, damn, I really got to watch that movie.
Which one?
Nutty Professor.
Oh yeah, it's like, what was I forgot his fucking name on the character? Yeah, Robbie or something like that. Robbie.
Yeah.
You so fat. yeah. James Chappelle was in a lot of shit in the '90s. That like Men in Tights, Con Air.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a prisoner or something.
Yeah, then Half Baked, but Half Baked.
Half Baked was great.
I remember watching Half Baked in the theater.
You went to movies and watched that?
Mm-hmm. I remember vividly. Me and Bill Crow. Yeah, because we were just 16 or 17.
Do you have any mug shots? I want to print some
I
out.
got a few mug shots. Yeah, I got a lot. I got a few.
I do not want to see my 18-year-old mugshot.
I want to print some of those out, like for posters or something.
Yeah, I get.
I was probably crying.
Oh yeah, I would be too.
Put it like the Sons of Anarchy style, like the Sun. Have you guys watched Sons? Gosh, when the Opie moment, my mom.
One of my favorite follows on Twitter is Mug Shawties. It's these hot ass chicks in their mug shots, and they're like posing, and they're like it's a selfie or something.
That's fucking fantastic.
Mug shorties.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Like you say that like that makes sense. Why have I?
Oh man, I love it.
I love hearing stuff like that when I'm like I hear something like yeah that makes sense that exists.
And then it has what she did down there, and some of them are like stealing or whatever. But then it's like manslaughter, and she's sitting there smiling and like making sure she's all.
Oh, they had their fucking charge.
Yeah.
What's that? Sturgill Simpson. They say they might make you go crazy. Then again, they might make you go sane. It's one of that Turtles all the way down. So watch that video. It'll change your fucking life.
What video?
Turtles all the way down by Sturgill Simpson. Yeah, fucking.
Sturgill Simpson country.
Yeah, but he's out there though. He's that anime shit he fucking did on Netflix. He fucking did the whole soundtrack for this anime. It's fucking like
Midnight Gospel.
No, that's Duncan Trussell. That's my dude.
That's my guy too.
That's
I got Clancy hanging.
I stay listening to him.
Clancy's hanging in my house as soon as you walk in.
That fucking. My mom passed away like last year, something like that. The last one.
The last one, I
remember that podcast. I remember listening to that with before. That's intense.
That's I was coming off the movie ticket one morning.
Oh, nice.
I was coming off the movie ticket one morning rolling, and that episode was the last one. And dude, I never had a more euphoric cry in my life. Like that shit was great.
Yeah, but it's fucking out there. Like the episode with Damien Eccles. Do you remember the West Memphis 3?
Oh yeah.
We're talking about Midnight Gospel. Duncan Trussell. There's an episode with Damien Eccles on there.
Nice.
Dr. Drew does an episode.
Oh yeah. Who is Damien Eccles though?
He was in the West Memphis 3. These 3 boys that were from West Memphis, Arkansas. Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's Arkansas.
Yeah, it's weird why they call it that. But then there was these like 3 6-year-old boys.
What episode is it in the Midnight Gospel?
It's not on any episode. Well, it's Magic
old.
episode. It's the one he's talking about magic.
Oh, okay.
That's Damien Eccles. Because he's really into these 3 little 6-year-old boys were slaughtered and murdered, and they blamed it on these 2 15-year-old and a 16-year-old. Damien Eccles was one of them, and they convicted him, guilty and everything, life without. Damien got death sentence.
Oh, dude, that's the one with the bird?
This one with the cats. He's one where he's selling the.
Did you watch Midnight Gospel yet, Chad?
Mm-mm.
Oh
but
my
anyway,
god!
like the West Memphis 3, and like they just like 2 or 3, like 5 years ago, they finally got out after like 20 years being locked up. One of them gets put to death, Damien. But the whole time he really got into magic and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the episode.
And he was like a heavy metal dude.
Yeah,
And West Memphis is like 10 miles from Memphis, but it's a super small town. So everybody was like, "Oh, they're Satan worshipers," and or they're this just because of the way they
no
look.
evidence, no DNA, nothing, no proof, no tangible. Just the fact that these kids were listening to Metallica and they listen to Slayer, and so they're in the occult.
Is there a movie?
They
Yes.
they made a shoddy ass movie. It was with Reese Witherspoon is in it. It's,
Oh, I love Reese.
But I would watch the documentary
the
before
documentary's
the
fire.
movie.
You
Yeah.
have HBO?
Yeah,
HBO Max?
yeah.
It's on HBO because that was an HBO documentary. Yeah, you can watch anything on HBO.
What is it called? Have you watched it, Chad?
Yeah. I
They're
got
fantastic.
heavily
It's
into it,
They're
man.
fantastic documentaries.
Because if you ever read the book, there is zero evidence why
Devils.
these kids were in jail, like for prison, like for murder. Zero. There
Are they
was
still there?
There was no evidence
they
whatsoever.
finally got out like.
Oh well, I take that back. There was a confession for a kid that was mentally not able to.
But very similar to the Brooklyn Five, or remember the Central Park Five. Did you ever see that? Those five young children. Like it all. What we're talking about here is like the interrogation process that we
Right.
go. Like
Nah, I'm good.
for like they fucking interrogated this like 15-year-old kid that was like learning disability, all sorts of deficiencies and stuff like that for like 8 hours. Kind of like that fucking to catch that murderer with
Kill a
the.
Mockingbird.
Oh, to catch a murderer.
That's a great book though. Yeah, the way they did it. Well, am I gonna get to watch wrestling tonight? Oh yeah, just confess, and you can watch some wrestling later on.
Yeah, the
They-
Cohurst
What's that documentary called?
Making a Murder.
Okay, yeah.
Damn, hey, talking about books and movies. What's the best book that turned into a movie that you can claim?
Shawshank. Maybe I would say Rita Hayworth, Shawshank Redemption, possibly. Man, that's a good.
Mine has
That
to
is
be
a
the
good
one.
question,
Mine has to
man.
be the one with the big,
Jurassic Park was
the
pretty
big dummy giant Lenny.
BFG?
No.
Oh, of Mice and Men.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Great.
I talk about that book often.
Steinbeck.
Yep.
That movie's so great.
Steinbeck, he wrote a bunch of things, but another one that he did was not Marley and Me.
God, that movie's
There,
tearjerker.
there was some kind of it's Charlie and Me. Yeah, it's Charlie and Me. Where he this was a true story. He got it in like a little bitty RV or whatever,
Grapes of Wrath too, didn't he?
and he traveled all across the country with just him and his dog, and that's what the whole book's about. And it's a great book. Great.
One
Is that what Marley and Me was based off of?
No. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was a good one. Man, that's a good question. Because
What was that last? What did you
Actually,
say? The Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But if I were to pick mine, it'd be Silence of the Lambs. Like from
I still haven't watched that. Is that the one with the butterfly on the
yeah.
cover?
Like as far as adaptations go, yeah, that's phenomenal. You should definitely watch that movie.
And I've read a lot. Maybe The Big Short.
Did you have to read To Kill a Mockingbird or something?
Yeah, we had to read that too for English.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone had to read that.
Yeah.
You feel like it was good?
Yeah, it was a fantastic book.
Yeah.
Do you think she wrote it? You ever heard that theory that because Harper Lee, it's the only book she's ever until a couple of years ago. It's the only book that she wrote, but she was the assistant to what's his name in Cold Blood.
Truman Capote.
Thank you. Yeah, Truman Capote. Yeah, she was his assistant, and there's theory or the conspiracy theory that he wrote it, and she was
Not any.
Oh wow.
But I think I mean, it's fucking. I don't know.
That's hard telling.
Wow.
But that's her only novel. It was the only book she ever wrote until like a couple of years ago. They just came out with a book. That came out like what I don't know, like the 60s or whatever. She just had another book come out like 2 years ago. But there's that theory that
I haven't heard that. That's
the
interesting.
Rumble because it makes sense. But because why write the best book ever and then just stop?
Never. Yeah.
Like it's the most successful best book ever, and you just fucking stop.
Well, that's how Catcher in the Rye guy.
I'm good here, guys. Yeah, right. Catching the Rye. Yeah.
That's a book. Is that a movie too?
J.D. Salinger.
Oh yeah, no, Catching the Rye. Yeah, it was a book.
Oh, Catching Ryan. Yeah, I'm familiar.
Holden Caulfield. And
That's my. I love nonfiction.
How'd you do
I don't typically get into fiction too much. Nonfiction is just so more interesting to me than, and I understand the art of fiction and all that. Anyway, but Catcher in the Rye is my all-time favorite fiction book.
Did you like In Cold Blood? Since you said you like nonfiction. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Catcher in the Rye, and the Catcher in the Rye has a ton of.
I wanted to name my kid Holden after Holden.
Yeah.
But what made me not do it is like the guy Mark David Chapman, the guy who killed Lennon.
Right.
When he traveled under the name Holden Caulfield.
And there's been a lot of deaths associated with it.
Yeah, that book, like serial killers are always into it. They're always into like catching the rye and whatnot. Suppose that's one of those theories with that. But yeah, he got real famous and just disappeared.
Yeah, it was like a hermit, or not even a hermit, a recluse.
Yeah, that was the case. If I think, because of the documentary, a couple on him, where people fucking just became like he was a god to people, and people, and he's like, I am not
because of the absence.
He's like, I am. Well, not even that. Just like how they took to catch.
Oh, right.
He's like, I am not what you guys are trying to. I am just a fucking.
Yeah. My favorite nonfiction book is probably the Judas and Messiah.
I've read that.
I meant nonfiction movie. Have you watched it? It's on HBO. About Fred Hampton, Black Panther. They shot in his bed sleeping. He was sleeping and they came and shot in his bed, but the guy got caught stealing and shit, so they made him an informant to go get close to Fred Hampton as a black guy, and yeah, it's just, dude, it gets good. It gets really good.
Afina Shakur. I saw Black Panther.
That sounds familiar.
Tupac's mom.
Yeah.
She was deep in the fucking Black Panther in that era. Yeah, because they're like, that's one of the reasons, like with Nixon, the war on drugs started like that, because they came after, like, we can't arrest people for protesting, but we can arrest people if they're smoking pot. We'll go after the Black Panthers, then we'll go after the hippie movements by arresting these motherfuckers for smoking weed. We can't arrest you for protesting, but we can arrest you for drugs. And that's where the war on drugs kind of started. It's like they wanted to break up the Black Panther Party and the hippie movement, the anti-war movement. And then Reagan really took it and spun with it.
I would have loved to live back in the day and got to go to Woodstock.
I don't think I would. I talked about this. I would have no interest. It looks nasty. It looks like it smells.
It does, yeah.
It looks muddy.
It does, but I feel like
worst
I feel like you
voluntary
could
party
do it right.
ever.
Like if you had the van and you did it right and you didn't really fuck with people. Like I know how to set a setting.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm good about that. You know,
you know Bonnaroo Festival in like Tennessee. So it's like that, and they have that. I think maybe even Kanye's played there. I know he's played the one in California.
Everyone plays at Coachella. Yeah, if you headline Coachella, I think Beyonce did last year. I mean, at Bonnaroo, that was a huge thing. Like, whatever. One of the last ones, it was a big. She got paid.
Is it yearly?
Yeah. It's Bonnaroo. It's like a 3-day fucking festival. It's fucking sick as fuck.
But I would say out of all those that he just named, that's the most hippie. Like if you're gonna try to go to some kind of Woodstock now, it's you're definitely not gonna go to one in California. It's like all celebrities. Like that,
but they've kind of evolved into like they'll have like Run the Jewels and stuff headline or radio, like these Radiohead. But now they get like Beyonce to headline the shit and like or Kanye. That's what kind of makes Coachella cool. Yeah. I looked up at like how much some of the musicians got paid at Woodstock the other day.
The original one?
Yeah, like I think Grateful Dead got like
case of beer or something.
$2,500. Grateful Dead got paid. I want to say Hendrix got paid $15,000. I want to say he was the highest paid there because he was the headliner, which he played a full set. I always wondered that, like, does he just play the national anthem and that was it? Like, did he just? Because I never knew. Like, there's no footage of him ever playing any other song besides the national anthem. You know, at the Woodstock. And that's like what you think of with Woodstock. I'm like, and I looked up. I'm like, yeah, he played a whole set right before, it's all his shit. And I'm like, okay, I would have.
So it's kind of funny that you mentioned that. Because
I thought he just came out for the longest. I thought he just came out just near, and just does it. Thank you, good night, and just took off.
So, and I think a lot of it was because of the movie. But if you actually most people that went to Woodstock was like, it was awful. It
looks nasty. Just you see people like, they're all fucking sliding down those mud hills. They're sliding down shit hills. It's human shit, fecal matter. And the sound, who's on stage? I don't know. I can't fucking hear. There's 500,000 people here.
It's come a long way from the holding concerts since then, though. I feel like it's a lot better.
You're right, exactly. It's a lot more. It's shit. They ran out of water at that Woodstock. I mean, there was now it's like you're paying $10 of water. Like, but I think
you're paying a lot.
But
last concert I went to, like now the COVID and stuff, you gotta.
But you can camp at these motherfuckers now too.
No, I think at the new RVs? You can't bring cash or anything to like Cardinals games, all that shit, bro. That shit sucks.
Can't bring cash.
Can't bring cash.
You know, I experienced that at Six Flags over the last summer. I'm like, cash does not work here. That's a bad time for me then, because that's all I have on me.
You like Suicide Boys?
Oh yeah.
So they're playing
this year.
Yeah, I find out like who certain artists are. I'm like, because like Run the Jewels, for example, I'm like, who's Run the Jewels? And now they're one of my favorites because I'm like, if you're headline Coachella, and that look on like Spotify, they have like a billion, like 125 million views or listens to. I'm like, God damn.
Ludacris.
Luda.
Yeah, I'm not a Luda fan.
I swing like a bat, but these balls are not.
It's cheesy though.
If Luda didn't try to become a movie actor, he'd be still relevant.
He was cool in Hustle and Flow. But
Hustle and Flow. I love that one.
I
That is a
forgot
good
that he's
movie.
in, I don't think I've seen him in. I know he's a
Flow's
Fast
a
and
great.
Furious, but I
Hustle
never
Flow's
really.
a great movie.
Yeah, hey man, you a woman, man. Man. Hey,
Man, yeah.
Hey, man.
Come on, T.
Oh,
What's that dude's name? He was
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
He's a comedian who does like a bit. He's like he does. He's like Terrence Howard plays.
Whoop that tree.
Hey Iron Man.
Whoop
Hey man.
that tree.
Yeah, he plays the same role in every flick. Hey Iron Man. Hey man, you man, but you Iron Man. You know, you like man, but you like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Man, you know. And whoop that
Machine Gun Kelly's playing, whatever. J. Cole's playing too.
All people I do not care for. I don't like J. Cole.
fuck with Aesop Rocky? You fuck with the Aesop Mob?
ASAP hasn't dropped a lot of stuff.
Do you like? What do you think of the Aesop Mob?
They're cool. They fell off in like 2016.
Yeah, they kind
They
of.
all kind of started doing their own
Yeah,
thing.
it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's where they kind of just like plot.
Yep. 2016 was a great year of music.
2 Chainz is fire. I dig him a lot. I dig
The Game, I feel like his upcoming album's gonna be really
Game. He's still around.
good. Yeah, he's got one more album. He said, "The Game's
I like
The
The
Game's
Game.
last album. He dropped the album in 2020. It's fire.
I like The Game.
The Game's very very good.
I've been fucking with Mac Miller a lot here lately.
Mac Miller's favorite.
I love Mac Miller.
Yeah, that's
Mac
sweet.
Miller or Eminem?
Mac Miller.
What about Logic?
I don't fuck with Logic.
No.
I
think Mac
guess
Miller-
Eminem. I'm not huge on the Eminem. I don't get how he's
Really?
Look. Bar,
Ma-
look.
really?
Bars.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow. Hold on. What do you
bar
mean?
for bar. Bar
comes
for
off corny to me. Almost.
What does? All like? What do you mean?
It just doesn't seem like.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. You don't like. You pretty much you're saying you don't like.
That was a different time of rap, though.
But no, he's still current. He's still like doing like because he just did like Godzilla and stuff.
I
mean,
listened to that album. I didn't
That
like.
album was not good.
I'm not saying it was good or not. I'm just saying, but there's like some fire Eminem out there. He's like the I don't know. He's up there. He's
I hear people say it, and I understand why they say it. You know what I mean?
Even
I'm
the ones
not.
up there even say he's up there. He's like, shit, I can't, like Jay-Z, like I can't fuck with him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean Jay-Z, he's fire. What about Nas? You fuck with Nas?
Nas' new album was great.
I like Nas.
doesn't- yeah, it's usually what he does.
If we're talking all time, I think Jay-Z's the best rapper, the greatest rapper alive, like flow.
I might agree with you.
444 is an awesome album.
Yeah.
People sleep on it.
And it's just all like all the regulars: Tupac, Biggie, Wu-Tang.
But like what you just said, how live though, that makes it different. Like make it current. Like yeah, I like that argument. Like who is like one of the who's on top of the game? Who's like the kings right now? Kanye.
I like Kanye for sure. I like Run the Jewels a lot.
I love Run the Jewels. They're my favorite. Their last album last year, I mean, or RTJ 3 or whatever.
Yes.
I was like, it's a perfect album. I mean, and it's just perfect from beginning to
There's a
end.
beat on that. It's like nothing I've ever heard in rap.
Him and fucking LP, Killer Mike.
I might have a day in a weight room. I need to go bump Lose Yourself or
All right.
what's the one he performed at halftime? Was it Lose Yourself?
He did lose yourself.
Yeah, that's about it. You know.
Did you Forgot About Dre? Did him and did I didn't see.
And without me was a great song by
I didn't see
Eminem.
it. I didn't see
That was a
halftime
great
show.
song. That's very catchy.
I thought there's a lot. I mean, I could name off.
hell yeah.
I mean, that's
That's
a
gonna
long
be the
list of
closeout.
badass
That's gonna be a
Eminem songs.
closeout to the pod.
And I don't hate Eminem. I'm just saying I don't put him in my favorites. One of my favorits.
Oh no,
Seems
not my
corny
one
to
of my
me.
favorites.
Especially his rhythmic.
50 Cent
And then
50
there's-
Cent or Eminem.
who's better. Who I'm going
yeah.
with Eminem. all
I
day.
like 50
love
like
50,
as a
though.
person and how he's
I love
like nobody
50.
messes with 50.
Oh, 50's cool.
But
Goodbye.
like rapping, it'd probably be Eminem.
Production wise, Dre or Kanye?
Kanye. But that's
Kanye.
not. But Jay invented the
Oh,
game almost.
I feel like older people would.
That's like
I don't
Black
consider you guys.
Sabbath.
I don't consider.
Rock.
I don't consider you guys older. Like I don't want to know your age. You don't have to say it, but yeah, I feel like older people would really say
stereotype?
Dre. No, I feel like people would say Dr. Dre, but I'm a Kanye guy too.
No, Kanye's
Dre invented the game. Kanye perfected it. It's like that, kind of like that. Like
Like
Black,
auto tune
like
and
Black-
shit like that.
Like Black Sabbath invented heavy metal. Metallica perfected it. Kind of like
Yeah,
that. One of
I
those
can see
things. Like
Dre's production just a lot of it just sounds like R&B funk, like from the 70s or whatever, especially that first album, first
Yeah,
couple
that
albums.
drop top shit.
Yeah, drop top, yeah. Exactly.
it's that G Funk.
Where he's more of a
He invented G Funk. It's that G.
That movie
I don't
was
know.
great though. That was a great nonfiction movie.
The NWA movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot.
They did good.
They definitely heard like the Pac. Okay, and the Biggie biopic was good, but the Pac one was whack as fuck.
I feel like the 50 Cent was better than both of them.
I like
Get Rich or Die Trying.
yeah, I liked it a lot too. I thought it was
movie you're talking, right?
Yeah.
the
Not
Tupac
rap,
biopic was fucking whack. You could tell that was a case of them rushing it.
The
'Cause
Tupac one.
the one I-
Oh, that was corny.
all I thought
Yeah,
was
no.
this guy looks a lot like Tupac.
Yeah.
That's all I thought about the whole film. But I was like, they need with Tupac. That's a mini series. I was like, if you want to fuck with that, like, you know what I'm saying? That's like
Yeah.
that's like a Hulu or a Netflix. We're gonna do like a 9 episode of like this is like a Pac story.
They've done too much with that. The Tupac wise though. Like I've seen like 8 different series. Like you
There's a
know.
lot. They do go back and study like go back and like review him a lot with certain like documentaries or like whatever. Yeah,
They need to do a real movie about it,
that's what I'm saying. They need to do like a miniseries.
like a real
Who
one.
knows?
Like you're
Who
saying,
really
there's
knows,
so
though?
much
Yeah,
of it. that
exactly. You can't congest all that. That's what's getting wrong with movies nowadays. Like miniseries are the shit. Fuck a movie. Like because there's too much. Like even Marvel. I love Marvel, but there's so much like X-Men. There's so much to congest into that 90 minutes to 2 hours or or 2.5 to where you can make like a 9-hour miniseries. Like HBO's got it figured out. I mean, just
HBO's making bank.
I mean,
we
it's a
said that on
miniseries.
the last time we talking that I wish The Irishman would have been a series.
Oh yes.
That was a 3-hour movie, and I
was a
didn't.
3.5 no, that was
they
a-
could have kept
That was a
going,
3.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
and it felt short.
That
to
was
me.
Scorsese's longest movie.
Really,
Yeah, that was
it felt short. To
I got to
me.
rewatch that.
I wanted it to go on longer. I wish they would have made a series out of that for sure.
Yeah, I loved it. I heard rumblings of them making that movie because I read that. I remember reading that book. I heard you paint houses red or something. I heard you paint houses, but the story of him. And because there's a couple of movies I hear like Scorsese's been wanting to like. You'll hear these rumblings of like he wants to do Goodfellas, Casino,
Oh, one of my favorites. Yeah.
Casino. Yeah, fucking The
Godfather.
Departed.
I really don't pay attention to directors till like after I see multiple movies they made and I
Exactly,
figured out I
there's
like
certain of
them.
them that's just like-
and
it's
then,
like Tarantino.
Like the Coen Brothers are fire.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Coen Brothers. Fuck yeah.
What's your favorite Coen Brothers
No
movie?
Country for Old Men.
Lebowski.
But I could also say Raising Arizona.
No Country for Old Men is top 10 in my
But
movie list.
that's
Lebowski.
I say I know
Lebowski's I haven't
Lebowski's
watched it. I'm gonna watch it soon.
Lebowski's yeah. I'm an ordained minister in Dudism.
The Coen Brothers made Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what needs to happen when you have him on the pod.
Brother, Where Art Thou?
You guys should watch.
Want to watch Lebowski?
Or Brother Where Art Thou?
What's that, brother? What?
Oh, Brother Where Art
Oh,
Thou?
that's a good one too. Based on the Iliad.
Yeah. Like George Clooney. You ever seen that with like the fucking like the it's like in the like the
Coen
30s?
Brothers?
Yeah, it's Coen
Hey,
Brothers.
Dude, it's always gory with
Fargo.
the Coen Brothers.
Fargo's pot. Yeah, I take back my
Fargo's.
answer.
You say you didn't watch Fargo?
I thought you meant the TV show.
It is the TV
Well, I'm
show.
talking about the
They made the movie too.
Yeah, the Coen Brothers did the movie.
Is it good?
It's fantastic. It's fucking yeah.
Oh,
No,
they did the Missouri one too.
Yeah.
There was a billboard in Missouri.
well that's just there's a weird connection. She is in that movie. Frances McDormand.
Didn't the Coen Brothers do that?
No, that's the guy who did Seven Psychopaths, or it might be it's Seven Psychopaths, or in Malcolm McDonald or something like that.
okay.
Is that guy who did that? But that's a fantastic.
What's
film,
some
too.
other brothers that made some great movies?
Farley Brothers, whatever. They did something about Mary, and they
Bunch
did.
of comedies.
Yeah, was the
Oh, you know the
Kingpin?
Matrix. The guys that made the Matrix. You know they turned to transsexuals.
the Wachowski girls.
Yeah.
One of them transitioned. The Wachowski brothers,
Yeah,
the twins. Yeah, the Wachowski.
Crazy.
Wachowski twins. There it is.
Crazy.
Yeah. Is it crazy? Yeah, I forgot what her
you guys
name
watch
is.
the new Matrix?
I haven't.
Great. You guys need to watch that
I
when you
will.
talk
I
about
love
it
The
next
Matrix.
time. I think you guys would like. You guys obviously probably
We
love
are in the
old
Matrix. Do you think we live? Where are you guys at with the simulation theory?
I don't know. You have to watch the Eternals. I think we live in the Eternals. This video is brought to you by The Wellness Investors. Visit thewellnessinvestors.com and start enhancing your life one sector at a time.